most important thing that I've learned in a group, because I lost my 2-year-old son, so I deal with loss and I deal with depression a lot. Uh, Tony, my therapist, has dealt with loss and has dealt with a lot of things similar. So I can relate to my therapist, and my therapist can relate to me. And since he's got almost 11 years of sobriety, I want that. I want what he has. So I want to learn the lessons that he learned going through the same scenarios that I'm going through right now. Plus, you have other people that come into this community that also are dealing with loss. So it makes it easier for us to sit down and conversate with each other to see what works for each individual, because everything is not the same for each and every person.
Right.
So people can pick and choose what they've learned in group or heard in a group session that helps them to get further on, that helps them to deal with their loss in a way that doesn't pertain to doing drugs. Like, my therapist had me write a letter to my son, letting him know what I've done for the past 3 years, and to tell my son what I wanted to do different, to make him proud of me, to make him happier. Because nobody that leaves this earth wants to see the person that's dealing with the loss to do wrong, to do bad, and to blame that on them leaving this earth.
Yeah.
So it pretty much is, everybody helps everybody out. The thing that makes a person stronger is hearing everybody else's triumphs and how they've dealt with things. Now, each scenario is different. It's not the same all the time. I suggest you just listen to everybody that's around you and pick and choose what works for you. Because not all things are going to work for you, and not all scenarios are going to be the same either. But you will find somebody that you connect with, that you can sit down and talk to, that will help you through certain scenarios. It helps you to share your scenario. Like when I first told my story about the loss of my son, I would have to say the first 30 to 40 times I shared it, I cried. Like, I would bawl. But now, this year, I did something different. Instead of being all depressed and angry, I surrounded myself with positive people in the community, and I celebrated the life of my son and not the death.
Yeah.
So that's where I had to grow on it more, was realizing to celebrate the time he was here on this earth and not to mourn his death and feel depressed and putting the blame on myself. I learned that there's a time and place for everything, and there's a reason that God did that, whether it was to make me stronger inside as a father for my other kids, because he wasn't my only kid. I have a son and daughter, and I have 4 stepkids. And they want their father. They don't want to see their father in the ground. So I needed to realize that too as well. I needed to be better for myself as well as for my other children.
Yeah.
And this place has helped me to realize that.
Yeah.
I would tell them to be open-minded. To be open-minded and just listen. You don't have to share what you're going through your first week here. Get comfortable with the people that surround you. Listen to what they have to say and realize that you're not the only person that's going through the same scenario, because everybody can relate to at least one or all things that another person has to share in group. And that's what's bothering them, their stress. things that make their anxiety go up, things that make them think that they want to commit suicide. If you listen to what a person has to say in the scenarios, you will always relate to something in that scenario. It doesn't matter what it is. And eventually it helps you to want to communicate and share your story. I would have to say the community will make you stronger, not weaker, because you're always going to hear your story through somebody else. That's what I realized about this community. And when you leave here, you'll go into AA or NA. They're both the same. And just surround yourself with people that have sobriety. That's your main goal coming here, is to become sober and to live a righteous life. My goals moving forward, I want what Tony has. I want 10 years sobriety. I want to be able to help other people to continue in their sobriety. I'd like to sponsor people. I'd like to own my own business eventually, which is something that looks like I could possibly do. I'm 43 years old, I'm not young. If a younger person comes in here, I would tell them to learn from the older people, because there's all ages that come through here. You got people that come through here at the age of 17, 20, 21. I would say to them to witness what older people are doing in through here, and to realize that you don't want to be in this program at the age of 40, 50, 60 years old. You would be the person that would teach those people that are older than you, because you started at a young age for your sobriety. I would tell them to hold on to sobriety, and people, places, and things have to change. I would say the most important thing through this is to have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself that you can do better things. If you believe in yourself and know that anything is possible, you will strive to do better.